What's going on? You're tuned into another Six Visions exclusive interview. My name is Sik Saleem, and today I got a guest, not just an ordinary guest, someone who's been, well, on my radar for some time because I've been a fan of her since I saw her on Wild 'N Out, MTV's Wild 'N Out, the Wild 'N Out. Maddy Smith is here. How are you?
Hey, what's up? What's up, everyone?
Maddie, thanks for doing this. I was just telling you off camera with her before we started that I'm a fan of yours, and starting like watching Wild 'N Out when I did in 2005, seeing from where it was till now, it sounds weird, but I feel like you're a perfect fit for it, the way
Mhm.
it is now. Um, and I was thinking, I'm like, man, how did she get her way onto there? And then I came across the audition process on YouTube. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so I was watching the audition tape, and I want to know your thoughts. Like, where did you even think, like, oh, I want to audition for Wild 'N Out? Where did you hear about the show?
Yeah, so as you might not, I do stand up in New York City every night for the past 4 years. And I think like halfway into that, I started doing roast battles, which are essentially rap battles without rhyming. If you ever see like the Comedy Central roast and stuff like that, it's saying mean things to people, but in a joke form. So anything flies. So I started doing roast battles. I got really good at them. I did like 50 of them. And so one of my friends posted, Wild 'N Out's having auditions. We're looking for roast battlers. And I was like, damn, I didn't think this would be my calling, but I'm applying. And then I got the audition. And then the video you saw, that was my audition in New York City, I think last April. So I guess a year ago. And I went in and like did some stand up for Nick Cannon and some other producers and did the callback. And that's where that wild style battle came in. The callback we did that same day. And then I got flown down to Atlanta to like test out a little bit more with them before season 15 started.
Because
Yeah.
then after the audition, there was the workshops with like the star cast, correct?
Yeah. So you go to workshops and then they figure out if you're a good fit. Because you can be funny initially, but if you don't like vibe with the cast, it's not gonna, even if like, or if like your jokes aren't really Wild 'N Out's looking for, or if you're late, they're just, like cutting you. It was like boot camp. It fucking, looking back, I would not do that again.
But are you happy you
It
made it
was
through?
stress. I'm happy I made it through, but I was really stressed because every day you're like, fuck, I gotta make a moment today or else they're gonna send you home. Oh my God. And like they would be like they would be like, just so you know, we have room for 10 people and there's 30 people here. So get your shit together.
As if
And
the
I'm
pressure wasn't already enough, eh?
yes. And who wants to go home back to New York and be like, well, I could have been on TV and I fucked it up.
Right. So how long did that process last? The boot
The
camp?
shops, I think, are, it was like 8 days, I think.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my
It was
god.
like, I remember it being a week plus a couple days.
Probably didn't feel like a vacation or anything.
No, it was really, it was one of the most interesting weeks of my life because I've never rap battled. I watched Wild 'N Out sparingly before the show. I watched it a lot in high school, but post in this new wave of it, I didn't consume it as much. I don't have cable either, so I don't like watch a ton of TV. And so for me to be there with like original cast people, it was crazy. And I'm just like this white girl who's roast battling but has no rhythm but can also be really mean. So they loved me, but it was also very weird to come in and have like really mean roasts and have just like set people off. Not set them off, but just like yeah,
Were
come
you
in.
were you a fan of any of these guys before like coming onto the show?
Well, I'm actually really good friends with Jacob Williams. You
Right.
know Jacob, the
Yep.
other white guy.
For sure.
And because he's a stand-up in New York City, so through him, I've watched all his clips and stuff like that. So I knew about, well, I obviously knew about Justina because girls, nice girls, everyone was like, where's the girl with the red hair? Justina, and then like DC, everyone knows about. But everyone else, it was like through each day in the workshop that I was like, okay, he's a veteran, he's a veteran. That guy's name is Hitman. That guy's name is Young Swag with a
Yeah.
V. And um, but I got to know everyone pretty quickly.
That's awesome.
I think maybe not being overly um like obsessed with the show helped me during that week because I wasn't like intimidated by everyone. Whereas like someone who like loves Wild and Out a lot and auditioning would be like afraid to say something to like
Hmm.
clips.
Right. Now
So,
see, Hitman conceded.
Hmm.
Charlie Clips, Sharon. Like I'm a big fan of battle rap, right? And seeing these guys come from the battle rap world into I guess the comedy world, right, on TV, their transition must have been a little tough, you know. So for someone like you who's already a comedian but going into the hip hop world,
Right.
was there a big change you had to do for that, or like how did you prepare for that?
Because like even on day one, when we do like you know how we there's some games where we make
Mm-hmm.
songs out of nothing, R and B and stuff like that. From day one, I had like no rhythm, and the executive producer was like, "You keep doing you," which I understand is me getting laughs for not being able to dance, but I'm not even trying to. So personally, I didn't because I was able to make it comedic.
Hmm.
I definitely think coming in from a comedy background puts you up like another level.
Okay.
It's really hard to learn how to write a joke.
Right.
A joke.
Yeah. Now, do you write your stuff beforehand too? Like, do you prepare for some people, or do you just kind of go freestyle all the time?
It depends on the episode.
Okay.
We do like 26 episodes in like 12 days. So they fly by and you have like kind of like a structure of what the episode's gonna look like. But then in the wild style, you kind of know you have an idea of what you're gonna say, but um it always ends up like being fucked up and then
Right.
you just go so.
So now you made it through boot camp, and now you're on the first show. So it's time to shoot the first episode. What are you thinking? What are you feeling?
Literally, I'm like in the side. I'm in like the wings where you run out. I'm like, I'm about to film my first. I was shaking. I was like, holy shit. Because in the workshop, you're like, okay, don't hope that you're gonna get there because that just hurts you more. You have to pretend you're not gonna get there. And then once you're dressed up for the first episode, you're like, what the fuck? And then it's like pressure to like do well. And 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 I'm always like, I'm kind of a perfectionist. So I was like, okay, yeah, you got the first episode, but what's next after this? So I was less excited and more like, ugh, I have to impress everyone.
Right.
It,
Now, between the first episode and then the last episode, then you said you shoot within 12 days, like 26 episodes. That's a lot. That's what, almost two a day, right?
yeah,
So
two
now
to
that
three.
so now that you're doing the first episode and then 12 days later you're doing the last episode, what are you feeling? Do you feel like you've accomplished something successful? Do you feel like, they're bringing
Yeah.
you back for season 15 now?
Yes, I definitely, by the end of the season, I was like, I'm the fucking shit. It's like a confidence boost. Because you do stand up in New York for 4 years and there's so much uncertainty. You're like, will I ever make? I'm funny, but you have to be at the right place at the right time. By the end of Wild 'N Out season 14, I was like, I did what I was supposed to. That's how I felt. It's like I did what I needed to do to advance my career. There's nothing worse than leaving an opportunity that you could think that you fucked up. There's nothing worse than messing up an opportunity.
Gotcha.
That's literally like the last day I was like, hell yeah, I'm about to go places.
Right. Well,
Is that selfish?
no, it makes sense. It makes sense for sure. Like when I first saw the first clip of you on Wild 'N Out, I went to your page. I think you had like 1,500 Instagram followers, right?
Yeah.
By the time I want to say maybe a few months later, when like the clips were just kind of circulating the page, I clicked your page, and now you're at 28,000. And I'm like, the
Yes.
jump from
It's
here to
crazy.
here is insane. Now I don't know if you're one who really focuses on numbers, who cares about numbers a lot, but that you're on the right track for something.
Definitely. That was like now, okay, so at the end of season 14, I was like, okay, that was great. I did what I was supposed to. Now let's see how it comes out. And I had to wait 6 months for the season to come out because they edit it and there's a delay. And now this is great timing because the season just ended a week ago. Now I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Now I'm like, oh, I can do anything, you know? Now, once you get like a following, you're like, let's make more stuff. It's like making stuff when you have 1,500 followers is like, come on, please just watch.
I
When you have
agree.
28,000, you're like, they'll love anything.
Yeah, I feel like at that point, because now you are getting like at least 1,000 likes per post, which is like
Right.
a significant number. Don't get me wrong, right? It's as much as
Yeah.
followers as you had at one point. And now,
Oh, yeah.
now that you're making like you're just pumping content out, people are not only gonna watch, but I feel like now they're more prone to share it and more prone to tell their friends about it, right?
Yeah, for sure. When it has like, yeah, it's almost like I think of like bigger accounts that I go to and I watch bigger accounts just to see like how often they put out, like how often does Justina put out? And it's like daily and people like it no matter what. they comment, they send it to each other. You just like got to engage with people.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Two of my favorite moments from you on on Wild Now have to be the goddamn game with Cortez and then with DC.
Those were both good. The Cortez one, after that, I was like, I'm the fucking shit. And then after the DC one, I was like, I should improve.
Well, when
Like, no matter what he says, it's gonna be funny, and they're gonna laugh, and I'm gonna look so stupid. No matter what I say, it's gonna be not as funny as I was just
well,
climbing.
the Cortez thing, like I feel like he gets picked on a lot for his size, right?
Yeah,
But when
definitely.
you called him a virgin, okay, I spit my drink out. I was dying. It was I don't know what it is. I think it's because when you laugh at the end of a
Wow.
joke, it really sells it. I was dying, right?
Yeah,
And then I see the one with
it was on.
DC, and I'm like, because
Yes,
I was just watching the clip, and Emmanuel's like, DC. Oh, sorry, the game was made for DC because
yeah.
that's
It
his thing.
it is.
Yeah,
It's saying that my ass looks like the what's left of a toothpaste.
yeah,
What are you talking about? You know?
yeah,
If I said that, it would get pure silence. And that's like the strength in that game is delivery. Like, if would someone else be able to call Cortez a virgin and get that kind of laugh? So it's
yeah.
sort of the same with DC. He's just
Exactly.
like 20 levels ahead of me.
Right.
So,
And then when you
but
came back,
yeah,
with the whole "you're ugly," like it's such a simple thing to say, but it was so effective.
that was great. I was so nervous for that though. I think that was like in the part of the season where I was like taking things too seriously. I was like, "Oh, I gotta fucking win him." But I think if I did it again against DC, I would be a little bit more playful.
Yeah. No, that definitely those two moments for me were definitely like the big ones. And then the
Yeah,
Martin Luther King Jr. bacon cheeseburger with clips was
that's my personal fave.
yeah.
That was one where season 15, I had people coming up and being like, "Yo, what's up, MLK?"
Yeah. Well, Clips' face at the end, he just lost. He wanted to go say he's like no. That was
Yeah,
great.
that was,
Now, you said, you get made fun of a lot for your ass for being a a white girl with a flat ass and no rhythm and stuff like that.
yes.
I feel like Justina was that point before you because I know Justina got roasted a lot.
Now she just looks black
Yeah,
compared to. I'm the only white person. Sharon looks so black. It's like Christina and him. And yeah, she definitely got. I think she got less flat ass jokes
hmm
once I came along,
kind of transfer them over to you a little bit.
and it adds some nuance to what you can say about her, in my opinion.
Right
I also
now,
have a flatter ass than her, so
yeah, but what? Sorry.
I also have a flatter ass than
Oh,
her.
fair enough. I mean,
She's a little bit more bodacious.
now on one of your podcasts, well, Flat Bottom Girls,
Yes.
appropriately titled,
Yeah.
episode 3, when you were talking, you mentioned the same thing that you were getting a lot of ass jokes, flat ass jokes.
Yes.
You rolled your eyes when you said that. So does it get to you? Does it bother you?
No, it's more just I don't think it bothers me. I think when you hear the same thing about you over and over again, it doesn't bother you. It's just like, come on, say something new.
Fair enough.
It's the same with roast battles in New York City. People, if you're coming after a woman, a lot of people will be like, say you're a whore, you're ugly, and it's like I like a more specific joke. I don't put raisins in my potato salad.
Yeah.
When you say that about me, it means you don't care enough to say something personal about Maddie. That's all that. That's all that is.
Now, when it comes to stuff like that, though, like personal attacks, not even attacks, like personal jokes, like, do you personally have like a filter, like, don't say this or this?
I would probably just like racial slurs.
hmm
Wait, for against me or
Against you, not what you would say, like
oh,
against you.
again? No, 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 no. Say what you want. I don't care. And then it's
Yeah.
up to the network to edit it out. You know, if
Right.
it's too mean, they'll take it out. I'm pretty like, yeah, I'm pretty like say whatever you want. I don't have any secrets or weirdo stuff going. I'm really boring and normal.
I'm kind of the same way too. Like, I'm not a comedian. I don't like, but I do joke around. I have a very jokey, playful personality, and so I roast my friends all the time, and they're roasting me. It's just back and forth. But they're always like, "Oh, you shouldn't say this. Can't say that." I'm like, dude, I don't care. I'm gonna say
I
whatever. Like, it's a
yeah,
joke. It's the
yeah,
intent behind it. You know what I mean?
definitely. I literally don't care. I mean, I think it's just like being in New York County green rooms and comics are so mean to each other, just
Oh,
like
I bet.
it's, you just like when it happens on TV, you're like, whatever, my face is on TV. And when you laugh about it, then comment, they're like, she's having fun. I like her more now. If as long as you don't show that you're sensitive, people like you more.
I mean, I think that's fair. That's fair because, like I said, I'm a big fan of battle rap, and even battle rap culture is different now, like from what it was to what it is. Like people are so PC now.
Yeah, for fucking sure, dude. But I think it'll come full. I think we have to experience what full PC feels like and then start to like peel it away a little bit. And I don't know. I think the pandemic will make people calm down. I'm not even kidding. I feel like
so,
once we get out of the quarantine, anything's gonna fly.
so this is more than just environmental hoax, I guess people are calling it. So,
Yes.
but yeah, let's go back to your podcast real quick. When you get requests from people that you talk about on your podcast, then like what type of requests are you getting? Because I know money was one of them, but like, do you ever get like some ridiculous, outlandish shit?
Yes, dude. It's all the name of the game when you crowdsource from Instagram. I posted an Instagram story that was like, "Tell me what you want to hear on our podcast. We're doing a different topic every week." And I got everything from like colors, how to why do we not wear white after Labor Day to like what's your favorite sex position. So I got to pick topics that are going to make us talk for at least 40 minutes. So I
Mhm.
can't go with the Labor Day one.
Because that's it.
Yeah.
Um, you've been doing stand up. You said every night,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
What are some of the memorable moments you have in terms of like, this show was fucking sick. Like this really hit.
Definitely. There's like a few. There's like a few within the past year that were like, damn, I want to black out drunk right now. I'm so happy. I was in this past November. There's an annual New York Comedy Festival, and it's just like a collection of shows. Industry comes out, and I was picked to be on the Comics to Watch showcase, which is like big. Industry comes out, like
Right.
Comedy Central. All these, everyone in the audience is like industry,
Hmm.
you know, and so it's really intimidating. But I fucking crushed. Oh my God. So it was like 2 nights, and the first night was a show, the second night was a show. So you have 2 nights to like show off your craft to like, and all these industry shows are so stressful because they don't laugh, and you're just up there like pulling and pulling and trying not to, and they're just stone faced. But when I went up that first night, the crowd was like so quiet, and I like crushed. And my agent got like so many emails the next day, like Maddie Smith, Maddie Smith, Maddie Smith. So I think that was like, because I had filmed Wild 'N Out like 5 months before that. So I was like, okay, I know I'm good on TV. I know I'm good on Wild 'N Out, but how can I keep going with the stand up? I know I'm good at stand up, but I haven't done like a big industry thing yet. And that was like a big thing for me where it was like, okay, now my name is out there. Now
Now,
I know I'm good on Wild 'N Out and I'm accredited stand up.
yeah, they're two different worlds though, right? Like while now it's more so with like you're going off the person next to you, whereas stand up you're all alone and
You're alone, and to get a crowd and a room of industry people to laugh, just like, and I was just being myself. It was very meaningful for me because I am on Wild 'N Out, but I don't want to be only known as like the Wild 'N Out comedian. You know what I mean? I want to be respected as a stand-up. So
right. No,
always
fair
have like
enough.
ideas about like how boxing ourselves in and stuff.
Right.
So that was a big moment for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, do you attend local comedy shows as a fan rather than just a performer?
Not really.
Hmm.
I used before I started, I went to a few shows alone because I was like, how do they do this? But since I started, I've gone to, I could count on my two hands the number of shows I've attended as an audience member.
Because I noticed like when I'm at comedy shows, like they do open mics here a couple sometimes, and when I attend, like I noticed the comedians that are lined up to go are
Yeah.
always the ones that are not laughing.
No, I haven't laughed out loud in at
Yeah.
stand-up comedy in 10 years.
Now, do you think it's because you know the like how it works, or you just kind of are comedians supposed to be like the hard asses that you got to break the comedian in order to know you're funny?
I don't know. This sounds bad, but something about stand-up just like does not make me laugh. I don't not, I have to be like talking to someone to like see like our conversation is
Yeah,
making me more chuckly than
yeah.
like watching the best. I don't know what it is.
I mean that's fair because I notice even for myself sometimes, like in conversation, like I can make people laugh left and right? But like if I'm doing like a presentation, I'm trying to like throw a joke out, it's so fucking hard, and it's just like
Yeah.
people are just not laughing. It might just be like the timing or some shit's off.
Something's weird, and then I think it's also because as a stand-up, you also have to go on that stage, so you're kind of like focused on yourself. So you might see comics like watching Stone Face. It probably is just because they're also in their head it's like just like a workplace, you know?
You got a show on YouTube as well, late afternoons with Maddy Smith. Right? You got your own little talk show. Um, is that you and your boyfriend that do that?
Yeah, that's my boyfriend Andrew. He's also a stand-up. We've been quarantined together, and I think like within a couple weeks of the quarantine, it was looking like it's gonna be a long time. So I was just like, I need a project that I can make myself feel like I'm like achieving something. And I literally don't care if people watch. It's honestly just for me to like feel like productive because I don't have a job. And it started off as like a talk show that was supposed to be more of a talk show, and then it turned really silly and surreal. And now it's almost like an Adult Swim show.
Yeah.
So
I think the sketches are cool. How you do them in 3-bit
yeah,
parts too. I think that's pretty cool. It's like it's a different thing. It's not just you just it's not like a 5-minute stand up set, right?
it's like a straightforward format, and it helps me to just like map it out. And someone was like, "How'd you pick that?" I was like, "I just thought of my first idea and went with it because we have no time to think of what the best idea is because this is a quarantine, and I just something to keep me sane." Okay.
Absolutely. I
Yeah,
notice myself like I get anxious if I'm not working. You know what I
me
mean?
too.
So I need to keep busy with stuff. So
Yeah.
I think it's a good it's good little it's a good bit. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Thanks.
Um, so because you're on TV and all that now, you're on Wild 'N Out. You're the stand up comic to look out for and watch for. Do you realize that people around you are treating you different now? Because you hear that all the time from people that like, oh, I got a little bit of fame, I got a little bit of money, now people are treating me different.
When I first got back from Wild and Out, it changed like club bookers started working me more a little bit in New York City. When I got the credit, I was able to book more stuff, but person to person, I think it's been the same. If not, maybe people have been a little bit more nice. But people have always been nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think, well, here's one thing, not stand up, but my extended family who does not ever talk to me or acknowledge my comedy career for the first 4 years are now like texting me, so proud of you. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
No. That's the one that's like and obviously the biggest change is just like, no, you pushed me aside when I was doing stand up in my first few years, and now I'm on TV.
Well, no one sees that end product, right? Or if they don't see the hustle or whatever. I feel like I don't know, because even here I can relate to people because like a lot of artists from where I'm from, like nobody bats an eye. You know what I mean? No one will come out to his show, but there's artists who's starting to get some online success now, and people who never even acknowledged the guy are now sharing his shit.
Literally, I'm getting messages from people in college. "Ah, just want to say you're absolutely crushing it." You know what? I was crushing it 3 years before this, so
Absolutely.
also appreciate the messages.
Yeah.
But
I hate that they act new though. That's the worst part.
I
Like, oh, I didn't know you did this. Like, yeah, you did. Yeah, you fucking did.
on my Instagram.
um, I see this a lot on YouTube comments, Instagram comments a lot. Is that women aren't funny?
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
So for someone who's, I don't even want to say a male dominated field because it's really not. But for someone who's in a comedy field who get these type of comments all the time, like how do you deal with it? How do you show them off?
I don't know. It's definitely an uphill battle with when you're a girl comedian because there are a lot of people that will look at you and initially in their head be like, "Nah, I'm not gonna like you." It's hard for um, it's hard for being on TV. It's hard if you do a late night set and the comments are immediately like, "Ugh, another woman talking about her, blah blah blah,"
Yeah.
or I guess you just have to like drown out the noise
Hmm.
and remember. I personally have not had a ton of anti-woman sentiment. I do well in like a lot of different rooms. But I do think there's less female comedians so that when maybe one isn't as strong, then the comments flood in and they're like proving my point that women aren't funny. It's hard because there's less of us, so there's so many guy comedians that one unfunny guy comedian, you're not going to say this is why men aren't funny. But one maybe unfunny woman, it speaks for all of us. Not that women can be unfunny, but there's this trope that women aren't funny, and I think when older people kind of like age out, it'll go away. There's no one my age. It's a lot of older
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
Those boomers?
The boomers, yes. I personally don't mind. I don't read a ton of comments. Well, I'll read like comments on my own page from like things, but I won't scroll through like the Wild and Out comments, and I won't scroll through like another post that's sharing my stuff because it's just anyone who comments something like women aren't funny probably is inherently kind of like brain damaged, you know? Like, so.
Well, speaking of acknowledgement and stuff like that, there was a post that you actually posted on your feed on Instagram. Some guy commented about, or he DM'd you rather, about wearing makeup.
Literally.
Like what made you want to blast that? I'm sure you get shit like that all the time, though. No.
Not anymore. I think I got like a few, and then when I posted that one, they like totally stopped. Are afraid of being put on blast. I have a lot of really, really supportive people. And I think the guy was like trying to make a joke, but I was like, we're in a fucking, it was like week 2 of the quarantine. Coronavirus is hitting people at its peak. I'm like, bitch, we're in a fucking pandemic. How literally dare you? So that was it. So that pops up in my message requests, but for the most part, I get a lot of men just saying that they have a crush on me. It's also very stuff, but every so often it'll be like this one like 15-year-old message me and he's like, "Why do you think you're funny?" And I was like, I'm not dealing with this. But for the most part, it's very, very nice stuff. There's like one negative thing for every like 1,000 positive things.
Fair enough, and that's gonna happen, right? As the numbers go up, the more people know, it's gonna happen naturally.
Natural, yeah.
Um, oh fuck, I was gonna ask you something. Fucking brain just shut off. Oh yeah, you said that guy was possibly trying to make a joke, but do you realize? Do you get that now? Like being a comic, whenever people try to talk to you, do they just have to be funny? Do they have to make you laugh? Do they have to be that person?
They don't have to be, but some of them want to be. And then I much prefer a genuine interaction, um, after a show or something. I have lots of men coming up to me and being like, my friends say I'm the funny one of the group. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I would much rather talk to someone who's like, I'm not funny at all than, than you. So it's not that much of a problem. And even, dude, my patience is so low for that these days that if they do, I just like walk away. I feel bad, but like, it's not your prop, you know?
You ever been heckled?
Yeah.
How do you
Yeah.
deal with hecklers?
If I'm watching a comic ahead of me and I see that they're getting heckled, I just don't acknowledge that person. Because if they're going to heckle through me, if you just don't acknowledge them, eventually they shut up. But if you talk to them, it's going to feed the fire. If someone heckles me and it's funny, I'll kind of make a joke about it. If someone heckles me and it's bad, I'll say something like, "This is why men shouldn't talk," or something like that. And it'll completely crush. Some like stock lines for like
Yeah.
if a man interrupts me or if a guy in the back yells something, I'll just be like, "Oh, there's my dad." Absolutely. You know, you just got to settle it and move on because oh man, if you get them going, that can destroy your set.
Mm-hmm. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
I don't mind them as much as other comedians, so I kind of just like,
I
it's
like asking
human.
that to comedians because like everyone deals with it in their own way,
Yeah.
so it's cool.
Yeah.
I want to go back to Wild 'N Out a little bit. Now, this is just you and I here. There's nobody else in the room. I don't know on your end, but if you and I were on the Wild 'N Out stage right now and we're in the Wild Style battle,
Okay.
what's the first thing you would say to me?
Um, maybe I'll maybe say something about the beard. I don't think a lot of people on Wild and Out have a beard.
Yeah.
That's like the first thing I notice is, and that's probably what not that it's a bad thing. It's
Would
just
this
a
be
no.
allowed on Wild and Out?
Would it be loud? No, I think it would just be different. Well, I guess Chico has a beard, right? But
Oh, true, true, true.
I think otherwise, I guess I could say you look like a knockoff or Chico's son or something like that.
All right.
What do you say about me?
What to say about you? Well, you said, because see, like I said, when I roast, I like to roast about personal things just because I feel like it's funnier when there's a truth behind it, right? And I would be nervous to kind of go in that angle if I didn't know you were okay with that. But now that I know you're okay with that, I would say something about your small lips. Um, no, no, see,
Look at these things.
well, no, I'm just saying because white girl stereotypes, they got small
Yeah,
lips, or even
yeah,
white people in general, they got no lips.
it's so true.
You know, it's so true. But yeah, I'd probably say something about the lips, or
Yeah.
I would say something about I don't know, like you know how Clips mentioned the whole "don't call the cops on our cookout" line, something along the lines of that, where it's because like I have personal experiences where I've had white people just go off, not call the cops necessarily, but just kind of be like, oh, I'll threaten to call the cops, or I'll do this, I'll do that, like for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, got you. Dude, it's crazy. Like, I have never had the urge to call the cops. I don't understand why that's people's
Yeah,
go-to.
I don't know.
What? They're just gonna come with a piece of paper and like ruin the party. What the fuck? They literally so annoying.
I don't know. People got their own ways.
I'll call a cop if someone has a gun to my head.
I don't think I'll have the balls to call the cops. I'd be too
You're right.
busy. Like,
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. They're definitely, I mean, the number of speeding tickets I've gotten, I'm definitely not a cop ally. I
not at
can't.
all.
No,
Speeding tickets.
enemies.
How do you speed in New York? There's nowhere to speed.
Well, this was when because I'm from Buffalo, so I got my license when I was 16, and I just was like fucking reckless. I don't have a car now, but between age 16 and 24, I used to get pulled over so fucking much.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. With that being said, Maddie, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
This
This was
was
so
awesome.
fun.
You can follow me, Sik_Saleem, on Instagram and Twitter. Subscribe to this YouTube page. I'm trying to reach 1,000 followers by my birthday, which is a month away. So hit me on the Instagram. Get me up there. Maddie, where can they follow you for the people
You
that
guys
don't
can
know?
follow me at Instagram, so Maddy Smith. And if you see that Instagram, you can also find my YouTube page there, where I have my show and my podcast. And I'm also on Spotify with my podcast called Flat Bottom Girls.
Awesome. And also, shout out to the Late Afternoon with Maddy Smith, the talk show that I'm a fan of now already. So,
Thank you.
yeah, Maddy Smith is here, you guys. Thank you for watching. Tune in next
Thank you.
time.
Thank you.